everybody, it's Gypsy. Today's, I'm going to put this down just a little bit. Okay, today's video, we are going to learn how to make homemade dry shampoo. And again, please don't mind my mess back there. I'm in the process of redecorating my trailer. Now, as you know, I've been a nomad for 3 years now. And when you're a nomad and you do what is called boondocking or dry camping, your trailer or your RV is not hooked up to electric, water, sewer. So you have to go and find your water, and it can be difficult at times. You need to be very conservative with water. Don't mind that cat in the background. She's wound up today and is driving me nuts. Anyways, and as I've said, I am purchasing property, but I will be living entirely off grid. Even then, I'm going to have to be very conservative with my water. So, one of the things I've learned to do is wash my hair a lot less. I used to wash it every day when I lived, I'd like to say in the old style, mainstream society. I gradually had to get my hair used to not being washed every day. So I just kind of increased the time as I saw my hair was getting used to, um, you know, going longer with between washings. And yes, you can do this. It was my old beautician back in Ohio who told me that yes, your scalp actually gets used to how often you wash it. So if you're doing it every day, your scalp, your body's thinking, okay, I have to produce more oil because, and stuff like that, because another washing is coming up, and it does strip the oil out of your hair and stuff, so it keeps producing. So when your body gets used to you going longer, it produces less, and you can go longer without shampooing. Now, that being said, in between washings, I usually wash my hair about once a week. If need be, I will use dry shampoo. Excuse my friend's dog in the background. She's a puppy, so she's kind of like Persephone, full of energy all the time. So I will use dry shampoo. Now, dry shampoo can be expensive. So I have learned to make my own. So that's what we're going to learn about today, should you have the need for it. And the way things are going, we are having shortages in everything. And that does include water. So even if you live on grid and you're hooked up to sewer and plumbing, you still should be conservative with your water. Because when you live like that, you're not as aware of things, shortages like that, especially water or power. But it is a thing, even if you're on grid. So anyways, the first thing I did was I got a mason jar. I have a lot of them. And then what I did was I took the lid apart and I punched holes in the lid, okay, to make it a shaker so I could shake it in my hair. Now, what I do when I'm storing it, when I'm not using it, is I'll put the lid with the holes right here, and then I'll take like a sandwich bag, and I'll open that up, and I'll put it over the lid like that, or yeah, like the bottle like that, and then I close it on here. This way, it can't spill out all over the place. Now, I still have a little bit of dry shampoo left in the bottom, but I'm just going to add to it with a fresh batch because I'm running way too low. Anyways, whoops, I just lost my lid under the table. Don't mind me. Glasses. So, what we first need is for Gypsy to go and get her measuring cups, because I thought I was prepared, but I'm not. So just give me a second. I'm going to put you guys in a short hold here. I usually have everything ready, but my cats have been driving me crazy today. It's monsoon season. They've been stuck in the house a little too much. They want to get outside, so we don't do that unless Mommy's paying attention. They go out and tie out, so I go with them. Yeah, I constantly have to untangle them, but for their safety and their happiness, I think it's a good thing. I just keep doing it. So, let's see what we need first. Okay, I have my half cup is what I need first. Yeah, all you need is a half cup for this one. And hopefully you're much more organized than I am. Okay, so I have my half cup. You first want to add a half cup of either cornstarch or arrowroot powder. Now, arrowroot powder um, is much more silky feeling. Although I think cornstarch works well too. With the economy right now, I'm going with cornstarch. And yes, again, when I do get arrowroot powder, it is either from Bulk Apothecary or from Mountain Rose Herbs. So I'm just going to, I forgot my whisk too. I'm not doing well today. It is one of those days. I bought that property and my mind's on other things. I was looking at Earthship homes before I decided to get ready to do the video. And so I think I'm kind of scattered from that. So anyways, I want to build a tiny home for myself, but I want something that is self-sustaining, self-sufficient. Most of them I'm coming across are just too fancy for me. I'm used to living off grid, so do I really need all the plumbing and the fancy stuff? I got my solar. I don't need a lot of electricity. Okay, so that was a half cup arrowroot powder. Then, to absorb the oils, you want to add a half a cup of baking soda. So this absorbs oil and dirt. Okay. Now, put that in. Now, this next step, if you have blonde hair, you don't have to do it. But that's adding half a cup of cocoa, baking cocoa. Now, the reason for that is if you have like hair my color or darker, and you put this on, and you do brush it out afterwards, but you will have some of it left. It'll show up in your hair if your hair is on the darker side. So, and the darker your hair is, the more cocoa I would add. I just add the half cup. It works okay for me. Blonde hair, you can stop at this step and mix it up. Okay, so I'm going to add a half cup of baking cocoa. It could be, well, any kind of cocoa. I'm just using this, Hershey's, right now. So, I'm going to put in a half a cup of this. And I now have all this stuff all over my poncho that I'm wearing. Okay. So the next thing you want to do is whisk it together. And again, I'm going to have to go get my whisk because I've been unprepared today. I'm so excited about the property I'm buying that I'm just not thinking clearly. I'll be right back. Okay. So, I've got my whisk. And all you want to do is blend it really well together. I've got it in my bowl. And I'm just mixing it. You want to be gentle because this stuff will go flying all over the place. And it's very messy. Okay. This might take a minute. So yeah, I had it. It's mixing together now. I don't know how well you could see that. Okay. I used to have to put more cocoa in mine, but as I have two factors going on here. I moved to the desert where I spend a lot of time in the sun, so my hair is lightened because of that. And although I'm blessed, taking after my father and grandmother, who you really didn't notice any gray hair in them, except in my dad's goatee. My grandma, she says she had about as much as I do. But I'm getting older, more gray hair. My hair is lightened. So yeah, my hair used to be a little darker. I don't know if you can look back in any of my really old videos, you'll see. So it gets sun bleached, and then I've got the aging process going on where everything fades, right? It's like you're just fading away from this realm. Anyways, so I've got it mixed like this. I might have to find something else to. It looks like I made a lot more this time. Maybe I should. I think I should have made a half a recipe because this makes more than I was really thinking about. Okay, so then again, you need a spoon. So all I do is I take my jar And I just kind of scoop it in like this. If you try pouring it in, it's going to get all over the place. So you just want to keep scooping like this. I tap it just to even it out so I could get more in. So that's what you do. There's cows back there. I live in a free range area, which is why I need fencing. Otherwise, they're going to come get my plants. I'm already, yeah, I'm not on my property. I'm still at my friend's property. And then after the property closes, I will be traveling to Texas to see a very special someone. When I get back, the first thing I'm doing is planting my fall garden. And yeah, I'm going to give it a try now. I've learned some tricks after being in the Southwest. And as you guys know, I have tried several times to garden here. And being when I was a nomad, it was even harder. One of the tricks is I have to, well, in the cooler weather, have like a clear plastic over the plants to keep them warmer. But summer times, the sun is so strong here that it was burning my plants. They were getting sunburned. So I have found if I get one of those screens that have 70% sun protection, and I put those over my plants, they do great. So I'm going to build some raised beds and put a frame where I can switch back and forth, depending on the time of the year, from, the plastic or the screen. And I found that's working. So it's been taking a lot of experimenting. Actually, wow, this worked out well. It actually made the right amount. Anyways, oh, there it is. I'm having one of those weird days. Excuse me, everybody. I can get it. My short arms. Trying to get down there. Okay, so you put your lid on top, and again, when you're storing it, put the plastic over the top and screw this on. Now, what you want to do is when you need to use this, I always start like at my hairline here. Okay, so I'll do this side and this side, put my hair up, and do the back along the hairline. And then I'll sprinkle some inside, in the center part. And I will like kind of work it with my fingers, just as if you were shampooing with, shampooing wet. And you just want to get in there, get it into your scalp to get all the dirt and the grease off. Then what you want to do is get a brush, and you're going to brush your hair really well. Just keep brushing it until you don't see any more coming out. And this stuff does work. You can get by. If you have to go a while without washing your hair, or, your water source is not available, this stuff is wonderful, and it's so economical, and you already have the stuff in your pantry to make it. And, living as a nomad, off-grid, for all this time, you learn these tricks. You learn how to get, along without. And this is one of the ways. And the way things are going, all these shortages, oops, Spirit got too close to the camera again. All these shortages, it's a good thing to have these filed away in your brain or in a notebook or something should you ever need them. Because we're having that more and more frequently. When I lived in Ohio and my sons, John and Christian, were little, we had a brownout that went on for a long time, at least a week. There was no electricity whatsoever. This is becoming more and more common, these kind of things. And food shortages, because somehow food plants are mysteriously being destroyed. So yeah, you want to do things like this, make sure you have backup, make friends with your local farmers, and make some kind of business arrangements where you can purchase from them. And that works really well, because we have to start acting like a community again, not allowing Big Brother to take care of us. I'm going to say take care of us. Work as a community like that. Find your local farmers. Maybe a neighbor has chickens, sells eggs. That's what I do. I'm going to get chickens eventually, but I look for people. I have found some great farms, ranches, where I could buy eggs, cheese, get beef. No, I'm not. I tried vegetarian. It didn't work for my body. I enjoyed the diet, but it didn't work for my body. There are different types of body. Everybody has different diet recommendations. Mine requires protein. So anyways, do those kind of things. Yeah, And there are farms out there that grow nothing but vegetables, and I find them too, and I go to them. So that's what we have to do. We have to bring back the fall and the small farmers and ranchers. Get them back in business and start supporting them because they support us by giving us a healthy and safe diet. And there is food shortages right now, and I would say probably until fall. Well, if it, I have heard in fall, it's going to get worse. Okay, and shortages on everything. I've been noticing the shortages for 2 years now. I was traveling, and every store I went into, no matter where in the Southwest, empty shelves. So this kind of stuff is important to know. That's why I'm doing these videos teaching you how to make your own stuff. And there will be more. So I'm going to leave you with that. Write this down. It's so simple. Write it down and put it aside in case you don't have water and you might want to wash your hair. You might be getting too dirty. You're going to want to do something about that. This is great stuff. So blessed be and make it a joy.